Hey ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Jack and Glenn channel. Before we get started, make sure you hit that subscribe button, hit that bell notification. If this is your first time here, welcome to the Jack and Glenn. My sidekick or my partner, my wife, not here right now, but I'm doing a review on Put a Ring on It. If you missed this past episode of Put a Ring on It, it actually was a pretty decent episode. Let's get into it. Once again, subscribe button, bell notification. When this episode of Put a Ring on It starts with Zay and Jasmine. If you remember from last episode, there was that Jasmine's in Zay's house, and it was talking about how his friends talked to her and how one of his friends said he was going to choke her, and basically Zay didn't do anything. He pulled his friend aside, but his friend never really apologized. So they're continuing that story. Well, that area, Dr. Stacy's still there. She tells him that he needs to listen and try to understand her boundaries. So she tells him that she doesn't want him to think that she's tripping, but that his friend, by laughing in her face, but they laughing at her, right? They laugh, this is what I do to you. You can do, your husband can't do nothing, your boyfriend can't do nothing. And she's like, yo, it's not funny. All right, it's not funny. It's not fair. It's none of that stuff. Dr. Stacy's asking what is he going to do about it. What he says is he's going to say, I apologize. Apologize? How about you go put hands on your man, right? If you ain't put hands on your brother, your friend yet, your man yet, then you might want to do that. Or you might want to tell him to come apologize himself to your wife. But again, not wife, excuse me, girlfriend. Jasmine doesn't believe him. She doesn't think Zay is going to step up and be a man and go have his friend apologize. She don't think he's going to apologize. So she's just like, whatever. I mean, she's still hurting inside. You can tell that she's still hurting by the situation. She's still hurting by all that. But she doesn't trust that Zay is going to do the right thing, because when it comes to his friends, in her eyes, his friends are more valuable and more important than her. If that's the case, it's going to be a long situation. They're gonna have an issue in their relationship. They already have an issue. That issue is going to get a little bit bigger. Then we move on to Catherine and Ricky's house. We see Catherine getting ready for her date with, come to find out, her date with Marcus, who is a 38-year-old insurance broker. Later on in their date, we come to find out that they're from the same, they're both from Dallas, Texas. Ricky in the confessional, he's like, yeah, I mean, he's tall, dark, so he's her type. I mean, he said, you know her type? He's her type. I'm sitting here like, if he's her type, bro, you ain't her type. You ain't tall, dark, and I'm not even messing with the brother about being handsome, but again, you're not tall, dark, and handsome. He says he's not jealous. He's not jealous. Not jealous because of her. Not jealous if she goes out. He ain't had no problems. He ain't gonna have no issues. He ain't got no problem, no issues, because he knows him and Sheila gonna end up going out later on anyway, right? He likes that girl. Ricky probably end up going on a third date with Sheila, as we find out in a little bit later. Also, at the other end, we go to Jaysha and Joya's house. Jaysha at this point is acting real confident. He has confidence coming out of his ears, right? He's so confident in the fact, like, oh, you can go out, fine. What it really is, Jason's thinking about that date he had with Brittany. I don't care what he says or Joya says. He really enjoyed the date with Brittany, so he's telling her, he's giving her confidence. The confidence he has, like, oh, go out and do what you want to do. Go ahead, it's fine, because he believes that he's the catch and that she's going to come back. Joya has other things in mind. Her motive is that she's going to go out and make Jaysha jealous. It's a recipe for a disaster, because if he gets the confidence, he wants her to go out, and that means she's going to do whatever she can to try to make him jealous. We find out that Jacoby comes to the door. Jacoby's a 34-year-old business coach. He owns a 7-figure marketing agency. To me, Jacoby looked like Leon from the 5 Heartbeats. I'm it is what it is. He looks like Leon from 5 Heartbeats. Man, this whole date, I think Jacoby was very disrespectful to the relationship, too disrespectful to Jaysha. And I don't know how Joya falls for it, but we get into that as I talk about them a little bit more. As they get into the date, we talk about my man named Jacoby. Jacoby was like, he talked about him being 6'4", Jaysha's being small. He made some jokes before he left the house, but Jaysha's height is like childish stuff, right? You're there to take the young lady out. You ain't got to put the man down. Understand the assignment. Again, understand the assignment and move on. You don't have to do the assignment and put this man down and make him look like he's different. He's a grown man, dog. And Jacoby was like, man, if this was any other circumstances, Jaysha was like, if there's any other circumstances, me and you have some words. If it wasn't for this TV show, we was out in the streets, you're not even built like that. So Jaysha felt some type of way, but he read through Jacoby, what Jacoby was trying to do. They get to dinner. Jacoby was talking about basically asks Joya why you're in this process. She's like, well, it's obviously that you don't see no ring on his finger. I don't have any commitment. He's not my husband. Yet Jacoby's gonna say, well, you know, what my one of my exes said. Friends told him, if there's no ring on it, means you're still single. And Joya was like, yeah, that's right. If there's no ring on it, I am still single. Really? Technically, you are single. You're not committed to him. You're not there as of yet. But you technically are single. So there's some similarities in there. And he goes on to talk about some 3Ps, and I can't remember what the 3Ps were. Didn't even write them down, but it's whatever. Some 3Ps, that's 3 rules that he goes by and all that. Then she goes into sexual questions, but I'm thinking like, this is kind of quick. She asked him, what's your ideal intimacy? What the ideal intimacy? And he said that he had that he used to be the aggressor, and it boils down to sex into situational sex. He said he likes situational sex. And I'm like, situational sex? What? He has a fetish of dating women with boyfriend. Ding, ding, dong. There you go. Bing, bing, bing. Dude like dating girls that have boyfriends. This is right up his alley. Why he signed up for the show. It would try to get his fetish off, to make sure his fetish was taken care of. He's on the show so he can date girls with boyfriends. If he already has an ex, which means he doesn't want to be with anybody, he doesn't want a commitment, he just wants to be able to date girls that have boyfriends. Hey, he's in a perfect situation. He's dating girls he's dating women that has a boyfriend. Then it goes into, she's like, well, Joya was like, well, let me say it another way. What is your idea of intimacy outside of sex? And he was like, what? Can you teach me? I'm still working towards that. Maybe you can teach me. She's like, oh, I'm not here to teach you, but I can show you what it is. And what she said was, I can have sex with you without touching you. Like the way I touch you, the way I look at you with my eyes, and the way I speak to you seductively. Those are the type of things of intimacy without necessarily having sex. And how old are you? You're 34 years old and you have not learned how to have intimacy without sexing somebody? That's a problem. That to me, that's the issue, right? You should be able to have those movements or those moments without touching somebody. I had an old gentleman tell me one time, sometime him and his wife couldn't have sex anymore because she had some sickness or disease, and he was like, man, I get it from her eyes. Which you have to get it from her eyes at sometimes. Sometimes you have to be able to be that intimate that you can just look at each other and realize that, you know what, man, he looks good. Man, she looks good. But anyway, my man Jacoby, Leon, couldn't get it done. I couldn't get it done. Next we see Zay and Jasmine. We had Zay and Jasmine's house, and Zay's getting ready for his date. Zay comes down in all black, and she was like, hold on, you wearing black? You wearing colors when we out, you always wearing white. How come you ain't wearing no white today? Like, why are you wearing colors? You always wearing colors with me. And then come to find out that Gayla, who comes to the house. Now, Gayla, she's a baddie. She had the leg out. She's about 32 years old. She's from Atlanta. She's a hairstylist. The thighs were out. Dress was cut. And she wasn't ugly. She comes to the house and she's wearing black too. So it's like, oh my goodness, both of y'all wearing black. Of course, they didn't plan it. They're wearing black. And my man Zay eyes opened up like, oh man, really? Because he want to try to flex a little bit, right? And this is how he want to flex. He said, do you want to take the Benz or the bike? Now, you know god darn well this girl is in a dress and she ain't going to be riding on the back of no bike, which she not even got no bike clothes on. They didn't show her feet, but I'm sure she probably got some sandals or something on. She ain't got no bike gear on. You just wanted her wahoo on the back of your back. And you know, Jasmine was even feeling that. She like, boy, you know she ain't ready to ride no bike. Stop playing. She's gonna take the Benz. Next we see Zay and Gayla at that date. They start having conversations. She mentioned that she was in the military, that she went to Sacramento, that she's from Sacramento. She also talked about her having 2 sons. One was 8 and I think the other one's 11. She also talked about he tells her that he was born and raised in Atlanta, and and they look like they just buddies. They're just friends. It seems like there's no chemistry here. There's no interaction. They're just having a conversation, and it's definitely no chemistry when he starts going into why he's on the show, why Jasmine doesn't trust him, that he's spending a lot of time out there doing things he's not supposed to be doing. She doesn't trust, and the girl was like, I see. So she's not the problem. Gayla was like, she's not the problem. You're the problem. She's like, you definitely the problem here, and you're definitely in the situation. That you're definitely the issue in this relationship. she was like, and I like the fact that she was able to tell him straight. When he started going through all the issues, she's like, it's you. It's not her. It's definitely you, right? You're the one that doing all this other stuff. He started trying to interview her. It's you. Before we even go that, Jasmine made sure she tell Zay, look, one drink. Not too many drinks. One drink. Don't let your alter ego come out tonight. One drink, and that was it. So we see, again, the young lady Gayla was reading straight through Zay's bullcrap, knowing that he is absolutely the problem. Of course, there's not going to be another date here. He realized that somebody's called him out. And she told him he's the problem. So back at Joya and Jaysha's house, we see, back at Joya and Jaysha's house, we see, she goes through the whole date situation. She goes through them talking about the sex conversation they had. She said, if we were single, but I pulled back. But if I was single, then it would be cool. And then she tells him about the sex talk and his fetish for other people's women. So Jaysha was like, well, I mean, that's absolutely, he talks about his character. His character shoddy. He is no good. This is what he likes, to steal other people's women. So his character is really not that great. His character can't be good. Jaysha read through my man like from the beginning. He knew that dude was a bunch of crap, full of crap. But he said he could snatch her if he was like to do you. Right? He could snatch her if you want to. I think he could snatch her. And he asked her, could he snatch you? And she's like, maybe. Maybe he can snatch me. What she means, maybe. I think Joya's at the point she's do anything now to make Jaysha jealous. She wants to see the jealous side of Jaysha, and she's thinking that if I make him jealous, maybe he realizes he has a catch, and maybe he'll pop the question, and maybe he'll marry me, because that's what I'm looking for all together. I want to be married. I want to be together. I want to be together. I need him, and so by me making him jealous, maybe that will bring him to the point where, hey, he'll get married. Let's go back to Marcus and Catherine. Marcus and Catherine have a good date. They go to a place where they can do like a vision board type situation. They're writing their affirmations. Again, as I mentioned earlier, they realize both are from Dallas, Texas. They grew up in not too far from each other. They start having a conversation about business, and she's like, I just want Ricky to be doing stuff like this. Girl, Ricky ain't gonna do this for you, right? If Ricky ain't do it right now, then Ricky not gonna do it. Ricky didn't take you out. Ricky not gonna take you out. Or make your request known. Make it known that, hey, you want Ricky to do this for you. But I don't know. I don't think Ricky got the guts in there to do it for you. Catherine mentioned that she thinks Marcus is attractive, right? They're building a vision board. Marcus says Marcus is healthier, right? Catherine talks about she's a warrior. They both, as I mentioned earlier, they're both from Dallas, Texas. Catherine is feeling the connection between him, and she's like, well, I wasn't connected. If I wasn't with Ricky, then I might try to pursue something. Girl, in my opinion, go pursue. At least you wouldn't be in a house full of people taking care of his kids and his sister's kids if you went with Marcus, because Marcus told her, I don't have any kids. So guess what? He doesn't have any kids. You don't have any kids. It will work out for you if you go pursue what Marcus has done. Look, don't know if she's going to do it or not, but she's feeling going to see Marcus and having a good time with Marcus. All the couples meet back up with Dr. Stacy. I'll be with Dr. Stacy. Dr. Stacy start talking with Jasmine and find out about how her date went. She was like, I was nervous. It was the first day, and I had a lot of conversation, and I felt like my date was talking like he was a pimp. You know who that was? That my man from last episode. He was the butt naked chef, I want to call him. Nah, he said he was a gym instructor, but he said his goal, his next business, what he want to start is to be a chef, where he comes with no shirt and no clothes on and cook for people. He gonna burn himself up. And so then she asks, so she doesn't want to go out with him anymore. Then my man Zay started making jokes. He started making jokes. She said, yeah, she'll then tell him about this shirtless sous chef. And that's all. So they're talking, and he's talking, he's cracking jokes, he's laughing, he's making funny of the situation. So Dr. Stacy says this. I like Dr. Stacy because she goes off on him. She said, tell him you're deflecting. And she tells him that you're deflecting, you're restoring to laughter because you aren't comfortable with her talking about the date, and that's exactly what it is. That's your defense mechanism. He's uncomfortable. So he makes jokes when that's the first thing anybody ever hears, or this is the first time that anyone ever caught him or called him out on his BS, and that's why he's making jokes. And he was like, you know what, you're right, you're calling me out, but there's not a 1% chance. He said, I'm scared because there's a 1% chance that I could get fired. He's nervous. And I like Dr. Stacy because she called him out on his BS. Call him out on his BS. Tell him, look, this is what you're doing. This is your defense mechanism. I think everybody knows what his defense mechanism is, but she has been the first one to call him out on his BS because he makes jokes all the time when he's nervous and he can't handle the situation. So that's the situation with Zay. Dr. Stacy said, wanted to know, well, how did his date go with the homegirl? He's like, yeah, she gets me home. She's a homegirl. I don't think there's going to be a second date. And Jasmine says no to the second date with the naked chef or whatever his name was. I can't remember his name. To my man, they both said no. He said the date was cool with Gayla, but again, Gayla wasn't feeling him because she said he was the problem, and Zay was like, nah, she's a homegirl. Which we knew that anyway. There was no chemistry. If you watch that, there was no chemistry in that date whatsoever. I'll get to Joya and Jaysha. They're both playing off each other. He wants to go on a second date with Brittany, so now she wants to go on a second date with Leon, Jacoby. That's how they're playing each other. Whatever he says, she's gonna say. She's mad that he had a great time with Brittany. He explained the whole flow and experience situation within the group, and then so she started explaining her situation with Jacoby. Well, he was saying some good things. I don't know what he was saying that was good because all he talked about was being sexual and taking somebody else's girl and all this other stuff. I don't see it. I think she's just going out with Leon again just so Jaysha, because Jaysha's going out with Brittany. She said, I want to learn something to bring back to my relationship. Don't know if it is or not, but it's what it is. It's what it is. Ricky likes it. Yeah, he's going to go on another date with Sheila, with anybody. And she said, she, like Catherine, she found it great for her and Marcus to spend time together. She liked Marcus. Marcus has potential, that she will be going on another date with Marcus. And so we see them in a confessional, and she's like, no, I do everything. I'm doing a lot of things, and he's like, well, she might need to get a hobby. And she's like, how can I get a hobby? I'm doing this. I'm taking you out. I'm taking other people out. I'm taking care of the kids. I'm just doing everything within the house. And we got one car, which I told you that. If you go back to my first video, I told y'all Ricky only had one car. Because when Redhead came up, and she was driving, Sheila, when she came up, she was driving. I'm like, this Ricky getting in the passenger seat? My bro don't drive, or he ain't got no vehicle. And that's what it was. Ricky does not have a vehicle here. Ricky was like, well, I'm okay with her going on another date with anybody because I need an opportunity to miss her. You need an opportunity to miss her, and that's when it really set up. You need an opportunity to miss me. That means she doesn't do anything. She works from home. She's taking care of the kids. Well, baby, well, he would say, she said, how would you like for me to do that? That's how would you like me to do that? I go out with my friends, get a hobby or do something. He's pushing you out, girl. You better, if you don't leave, that man wants you out the house. Probably wants you out so he can go to his baby mama's house so he don't find out. So you won't find out what he's doing. He want to make sure it's justified. Well, you was out. Yeah, you was out too, Catherine. If you don't leave and go with Marcus, go with Marcus now. Just leave Ricky alone. You can do better than that. But nonetheless, he's standing out. So Dr. Stacy tells him, you need to have your own life so you can miss each other. Because when you've been together for years, you need activities and things outside of each other. Catherine said it is not possible because they share one car. In the confessional, this is where it blows up at. It blows up in the confessional because Catherine says, I don't like the narrative I don't like the narrative you're telling. The narrative that you're talking about is like I'm always around you and your peoples. Like I'm the one that's being clingy. Like I'm the one that's being there. I'm clingy. In the confessional, she said every Tuesday and Thursday, who takes the kids to school? He said me. Well, boy, he said me, and when he said me, she blew up. You lying. Boy, what you lying for? Stop lying. Stop telling trash. You know it was in you. You better stop lying. She goes off on my man, and this is what the ex was talking about. Y'all remember the ex, the guy that she got that hood in her? Yo, she got that hood came out. If she wasn't on camera, she was getting ready to ball Ricky up and fold him up. I take care of them babies. I take care of them kids. I take them kids down. Know what you need to do, Catherine? Take yourself, get out of the house, go find a hobby like he told you to. So let him take the kids to school on Tuesdays and Thursdays. Well, and you take the car. Let him figure out how to get them there. Let him understand. Let him be a dad and be a parent. Let him and his mother, his baby mama, co-parent their own kids. You stay outside of that. Let the sister take care of her kids, and whoever else lives in the house, the mama and daddy who live in the house. Catherine, go get your own place. Go find an apartment for yourself. You told the dude that you moved to Atlanta for business opportunities. You moved for Ricky. You came a stay-home babysitter. And I know y'all been friends for a while. And you're looking out for your friend. But guess what? Your friend told you go get a hobby. Girl, go get a hobby and leave Pretty Ricky alone. Pretty Ricky alone. That's how the review ended. That's how the show ended, with her being mad and storming out of the confessional, calling Ricky a liar. You guys let me know what you thought about the review. Hit the subscribe button, hit the bell notification. Leave a comment in the comment section below. I appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you so much. Have a great day.